A recent study suggests that more than half of working Americans might not be able to even cover basic living expenses during retirement. The good news, though, it's not too late to start building a nest egg. John Sweeney is with Fidelity Investments, and he's here with 6 key strategies to become better prepared for a more secure financial future. Good afternoon, John.
Molly, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I mean, people start talking about retirement early. I mean, you'll hear people in their 30s and 40s talk about retiring, but a lot of us aren't doing what we need to truly prepare for it, right?
That was what we found. We surveyed about 2,000 Americans from all ages and all income classifications, and what we found was that more than half of them were not on track to cover what we consider to be essential expenses in retirement: food, shelter, and healthcare costs.
How do you estimate? Is there a formula you can use to figure out how much money you need in order to be able to retire when you want?
We get asked that question a lot, but you use the word retire when you want. And so when we distill back the factors, we'd all like to maintain our current standard of living and we'd all like to retire early. But in fact, the 2 biggest drivers of success in terms of improving your retirement preparedness were 1, time, and 2, your savings rate. So for young investors today, they've got the benefit of time on their side. They can save and help their money compound over time while they're working, and they've got a long period of time over which to save and accumulate wealth. Even for folks closer to retirement, time is still one of the biggest levers they have to pull. If they can work just a few years longer or work part-time in retirement, those are 2 strategies that will dramatically increase the probability of success in their retirement. So the second biggest driver, though, is the percentage that you're putting away. And that's really important. We want to make sure that particularly young investors save about 10 to 15% of their income in preparedness for retirement.
What are some of your other favorite steps or keys to planning for retirement?
One of the things that we want to make sure people understand is the role of stocks or equities in your portfolio. So we've come through a period where clearly the stock market was very volatile, but we want to make sure that young investors are not afraid of the stock market. They've got, again, a long time period over which to accumulate wealth. But even today's retirees are planning for retirement that may be as long as 30 years into the future. So they've got to have almost half of their portfolio in stocks so that they can outpace inflation and make sure that their portfolio continues to grow commensurate with the increases in their expenses.
As it relates to stock, it's not as important to time the market as it is to have time in the market, right?
You're exactly right. It's time in the market. Let your money do the work for you. Take a step back. Have a good retirement plan in place, whether you're in accumulation mode or whether you're in retirement distribution mode, and make sure that you have perspective and you don't panic when the market starts to get volatile, which indeed it will.
Any other tips that you have that you like as it relates to planning?
When we think about people who are close to retirement, I mentioned that if you can work part-time, you can therefore reduce the need to draw down on your own investments. That's important. But delaying Social Security is one of the things that today's retirees don't often think about. So each year that you delay taking Social Security is an 8% increase in the amount that Social Security will pay you. And the great thing about Social Security is it is a lifetime income stream. So that's a really important floor to box what we call longevity risk. The second thing is, if you want to think about annuitizing a part of your portfolio, that too allows us to pool our assets together with other people in the insurance pool and covers our income for that uncertain longevity that we're all going to be concerned about.
And quickly, where can we go for more information?
So we have lots of resources that Fidelity provides online. In fact, we have a quiz at fidelity.com/retirement quiz. We also have a series of monthly newsletters that investors can sign up for free at Fidelity Viewpoints.